Doing? I'm coming to you live after the Tyson Paul fight. Guys, if you saw this and you're a Tyson fan like me, you hope that, and you know it's not going to happen. So I'm going to give you the real deal here. Tyson came out, he won round one like it was nothing. He came out, round two was close, but he won. The whole time they're talking about how Paul had landed more punches than Tyson had thrown. He's landed 50% in some rounds. But Tyson, I think at the end there was 235 punches that he ducked, and he ends up getting hit uh, under 50 times. I think he got hit hard 7 times. He definitely hit Paul hard, equal. Um, it just the stamina wasn't there, but you can see in the background. I'll give you a quick flash. I don't want to get copyright here. They're about to announce the decision. I'm pretty sure that what you're going to hear is that Paul's going to win by 5 or 6, and it's going to be unanimous. I'm sure. I'll let you listen in. Um, but uh, but Tyson, he came out hard. He got tired. He adjusted his strategy, and he tried to come back in round 6 and 7 and try to get some knockout punches. It just wasn't there. All right, 80 to 72, 79-73, and 79-73. Jake Paul wins by decision. But listen, Paul threw almost 300 punches. Look at this. Tyson just went to shake his hand and Paul didn't. I think it's because he didn't see him. But the thing is that this is this is literally what you need to take from this is that Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, who landed 20 punches on him. He only threw about 100, and he tried to knock him out 50 times and didn't connect once. If you wanted to make a YouTube short and just show the defensive part of this fight, it would look very similar to Tyson in his prime, because Jake Paul is not a real boxer. I saw the Tyrone Woodley fight. I never bought in until I saw the way he knocked him out. And then I thought maybe he would have even beat Tommy Fury after I watched that fight. But you know what? It might have been a controversial decision because he stuck with them. But, who's Tommy Fury? He's the champ's brother. That's all he is. Um, and Paul lost. And he just fought one of, maybe not the greatest boxer ever, because Ali's probably the greatest. But, he's the most devastating, dynamic, powerful knockout heavyweight ever by far. And he just got in the ring with this guy who's knocking out people left and right who are athletes. Um, he couldn't connect with Tyson to a point that he even got him to stumble. Tyson didn't go down. Tyson didn't go down much in his career, but I saw him hurt many times in his career. Jake Paul was giving him everything he had. He couldn't even connect. I guess, and you could tell. He said he's happy, Tyson. They're interviewing him. He's not surprised it went the distance. He came to fight. He just got his official 7th loss, so he's 50-7. Um, you know, yeah. The thing is he said he proved the world wrong, and he said I didn't. I just proved it to myself. But here's the thing: that I understand what he's saying, because he was able to win early. He was able to adjust mid-round, like the reverse rope-a-dope. He wasn't going to take shots, but he literally decided, I am not going to get hit anymore, but I'm not going to throw punches. And all I need is one round. I still got my power. And you saw him go from winded in the 3rd and 4th round, where it was, it was hard to watch if you love Mike. And then he came back, and you saw him get his balance back and his power back in the 5th and 6th. And Paul hit him in the 7th with a 3-punch combo, and in the eighth, it's just, once it got to, once I think he saw in the corner that, hey, Tyson's conserve the power. Watch out, you get hit once. Jake Paul was able to adjust. He used that 5-inch reach advantage. He threw jabs. He tried to. And those were the majority of the punches that he landed. So when you look and see, oh my God, he threw so many more punches. He landed so many more. Just understand in boxing how hard it is to literally dodge 200 punches when 250 are thrown, and to only get hit with jabs. I think he got hit with 2 hooks and an uppercut. He wasn't wobbled. He wasn't knocked down. And in the first round, one of the most memorable moments of this fight is the first time he connected with Paul with a hook, and Paul's face showed, "Oh my God, I bit off more than I can chew. I've never been hit that hard." And this was a 58-year-old man. He's technically old enough to be his grandfather, but he's 31 years older. And Jake Paul has won every match that he's had by knockout early and viciously. What this shows you is that Jake Paul saying he's going to be the heavyweight champion sooner than people think. If Jake Paul ever has a heavyweight championship bout, I will eat my hat on live YouTube, and then I will volunteer to pay Jake Paul 1 million cash to get to tee up on me while my hands are behind my back, because there is no way that anyone would ever agree to fight a heavyweight champ after they were just in that fight with Tyson at 58, who couldn't land punches, but who you couldn't hit. Now, Tyson was a great with that peekaboo style. His lateral motion was slowed, but he still had it. He's not the greatest defensive boxer ever. He's not like a Mayweather. It's not what he's known for. But 20 years after he retired, he was able to not get hit by the guy that thinks he's going to be the next heavyweight champion. So everyone's thinking that Paul beat Mike Tyson. He knocked out a bunch of people that aren't boxers. He fought one real boxer, and he lost by decision. And maybe it was controversial, but he lost. And he fought Mike Tyson, and people are going to look at how many punches Tyson threw that were less than Paul's punch count. And Paul landed almost as many as Tyson threw. Tyson literally, it's not that Paul was missing. Tyson dodged and dipped and ducked over 230 punches. He was hit with single-digit power punches. It was just a bunch of jabs, a bunch of jabs, a bunch of jabs, no punches and bunches. And when Tyson hit Paul, you could tell, because Paul didn't get within 10 feet of him for the next 30 seconds. What Tyson needed to do to win that fight was to knock him out in the first round. And I truly believe if he goes and watched that fight, right, and comes back, and it's not going to happen, but if he did have the opportunity to watch that fight and fight him again tomorrow, he would knock him out in the first round. Because, and obviously Paul would make adjustments to run and hide because he knows that. But if Tyson could just know now, or then, then what he knows now before the fight started, if he could know what he knows now, he would have given every ounce of energy he had the second he connected on that first punch and saw the fear in Jake Paul's eyes, and he would have knocked him out. Because you just saw this guy who's claiming to be the next heavyweight champion in the world chase a 58-year-old man around the ring who was not running. He barely moved his legs. He couldn't hit him. I heard the announcer say, "Why do you think he's not just going in for the kill?" I'm like, this is an 8-round fight. He's almost at 300 punches. At 300 punches in an 8-round fight, and it's a slow-paced fight. And you can't get in close to Tyson. And what are these people talking about? It's 2-minute rounds. So this guy is throwing 40 punches every 2 minutes on average. All right? 40 punches every 2 minutes on average. That's a punch every 3 seconds. You're not going for the kill? What do you call it then if you're not going for the kill? You hit him 27% of the time, and 8 power punches hit him. You didn't wobble him, you didn't knock him down. I mean, Tyson hasn't fought, young guy in 20 years, but he didn't do a great job of getting out of the way of power punches. But what you saw is his power punches couldn't wobble a guy that's going to be a senior citizen in a little over a decade. Only thing that you saw here was that Jake Paul's not a real boxer. I promise you that I bet you that the welterweight boxing champion of the world would give up 100 pounds and fight Paul. Any champion at any weight class will fight Jake Paul. Because what he showed you right now is if you're a champ, you are not going to be challenged by Jake Paul. Jake Paul's a good businessman. Didn't promote the fight as well as I could have, and I'm not a promoter. But, you can't take away the ability of any businessman to capitalize when the opportunity is there, strike when the iron's hot. Whether you do it at 110% of its potential, or you do it at 50, when it's as hot as his iron is, doesn't really matter. And you know, he could say that he accomplished his dream. I know that he's leaving, knowing that I believed him. He said he caught the boxing bug and this is what his life destiny is. I know for a fact that he's going home tonight and thinking it's over. He's going to really question if he's going to get back in the ring again. And if any boxing experts can do what I'm doing, give you a live, you know, reaction right the second that they're announcing the decision, and you don't listen to anything from the media, you just watched every punch thrown in the fight, they are going to tell you that this guy can't compete. So I think that it's a victory for Tyson because he went the distance and didn't get hurt. I think that if, like I said, he knew what he knew now when the fight started, he may have knocked him out in the first round, maybe the second, because after 3 minutes in there, he didn't have the stamina. He just couldn't. It was that's always been the weakness of Tyson. When you knock out 44 of the 50 people that you beat in your career, and 37 are inside the first round, you don't have a lot of time to train for stamina. But 20 years since your last fight and 30 years since you've been competitive, I mean, that's what you're going to get. I would say that Tyson doesn't care what anyone thinks here. He just proved that someone that is fighting at the professional level, that is doing so much for the sport, and that has a legit knockout punch like he had at his age, couldn't hurt him. Tyson leaves feeling good. Wish it could have went a little better, but he leaves feeling good. I don't care what Jake Paul says. I promise you, he is crying his eyes out right now. I bet you that you can't even find him at an after party tonight. I would put any amount of money on that. There is not a boxing match that he ever accepts for the rest of his career if he doesn't think of some very creative way, which I don't put by him, to retire. All right? Jake Paul can definitely get the championship out now because people will love to just, dance around the ring and taunt him as they pummel him and take his punches. Real boxers. But the thing is, he picks his opponents. That's what champions do after they've had title defense. That's what people that are going to be the champs do when they're fighting tomato cans coming up. Jake Paul's picking his own fighters because he's not a boxer. He's an entertainer. Except, it's like the WWE. It's what do they call it? Choreographed. It's not fake. It's choreographed. It's predetermined outcome. But it's not fake. But what Paul does, it's fake because it's literally like me fighting a bunch of senior citizen women. That's what it's like. When I was his age, and I know that he missed a lot of hits in his early 20s in fights, I was in more fights, knocking people out worse. I'd never thought to tape it, but all he is some young kid that has the energy to throw his punches. Some of us are born with that gift. And when you work out and you lift weights, it makes it hurt even more. Guess what? I am the first one to tell you, when you get close to 30 and you're not a pro, even when you're a pro, that goes away, and he's not a real boxer. He is not a real boxer. Mark my words. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. He won the fight tonight, unanimous decision. He didn't let the person down, and everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. First fight punch landed tonight was by Mike, and he goes more that he is not to get even close enough to me to try to, and because if he, it's just one self move. And that is someone who's been all this time arguing for all of his first 2 years of his entire career, which I guess technically now would be fifth degree. This is a very, very, very impressive time. It's from 18 to 21. And like now to be able to reach 40-year career, he was lost for him. He was out of his time to play. He was very close to his life. When you're, 20, 30 years older. That will be interesting because people like you bet it all, thinking that everything they touch turns to gold. But guess what? You touched Mike Tyson 28% of the time you tried, and it turned to a guy that you didn't hurt, who takes a wheelchair to the gym. Good job, Jakey.